Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to UCCS Sports. I'm MJ Arjamandi alongside Doug Klein, broadcasting live from Mountain Lion Stadium on the University of Colorado Springs campus right here in Olympic City, USA for today's men's RMAC soccer matchup featuring the visiting Colorado Mesa University Mavericks and the University of Colorado Springs Mountain Lions. Well, Doug, here today, UCCS is trying to build upon some of the momentum that they created on Friday night's win against Fort Lewis. They came into the weekend with just 3 points and added 3 more with that victory and looking to keep things going against the Mavericks. Colorado Mesa comes in with an overall record of 6-2-2, an RMAC record of 4-1-2. UCCS with an overall record of 3-6-1, with an RMAC record of 2-5-0. Doug, what are the keys to victory, and what do these Mountain Lion men, the squad, need to do to build from what they created on Friday night to get another victory and 3 more points in the RMAC standings?
And MJ, today is such a critical match for the Mountain Lion men's side. Last weekend, we have to take you back 1 week. They came from behind on Friday night to beat CSU Pueblo. Then they went to Alamosa and dropped a heartbreaking 3-2 loss, just when you thought the momentum was in their favor. Then they come back here, easily their best 90 minutes of the season in the 2-0 defeat of Fort Lewis. So to show that they can do this back-to-back, because the team that we thought the Mountain Lions were going to be is in fact the team that showed up on Friday night. So can they continue that today? And it's the same starting lineup for the Mountain Lions, and right out of the gates they show the same aggression they showed Friday night, and they earn a direct kick right out of the bat.
Well, they started strong on Friday night. As you mentioned, it was Alex Von Holly with the first goal for UCCS. And Alex Von Holly on that last attempt trying to sit it inside, but nothing doing for the Mountain Lions. His assist was from Baldwin on Friday night, and the other goal from UCCS came from Liam McGuire and an assist by Von Holly. So Alex Von Holly getting in on a lot of the action on Friday night. Let's run through your starters before we get too firmly underway here. For the Mavericks, in goal, number 1, Brandon Brown. Also starting things off for Colorado Mesa, defender number 5, Matt Rhodes. Midfielder number 6, Neil Schaefery. Midfielder number 9, Tristan Wydick. Defender number 13, Chris Boyd. Forward number 14, Aaron Martinez. Defender number 16, Noah Rosenberg. Midfielder number 17, Jack McReynolds. Forward number 20, Alan Ross. Forward number 27, Alec Fernopfel. Midfielder number 28, Ethan Anderson. And midfielder number 29, Eddie Cardenas. For UCCS, it is number 0, Jake Zink, getting the start at goal again after his stellar performance on Friday night in the Mountain Lions victory. Also starting things off for UCCS, forward number 3, Adam Baldwin. Forward number 6, Sam Gomez. Defender number 8, Parker McClure. Forward number 10, Alex Von Holly. Midfielder number 11, Colby Ranieri. Defender number 13, Liam McGuire. Defender number 14, Irvin Scarlett. A defender number 19, Heiko Hovack. Defender number 21, Jack Mills. And defender number 23, Aaron Hafner. Mountain Lions are also happy to see Jack Mills back in the starting lineup, as he was a bit shaken up towards the end of our game on Friday night.
And MJ, on Friday night, Coach Miller chose to play with a pretty short squad. There were only 4 subs that he used during the entire match. They expended a lot of energy. Hopefully they got some quality rest yesterday and the type of training services that were necessary, that they're right back at it, and they're starting out strong. And in addition to just needing points out of this game for their own progress through the standings, they're playing a quality side. A result against the Mavericks would be important for them to continue to establish that they are a force to be reckoned with as we move toward the latter part of the conference season, and the Mountain Lions hoping to climb into the top 8 and make those RMAC playoffs. Mesa actually came in as the top ranked team in the region this weekend, but they suffered a tough 2-0 loss on Friday night against Regis. So they're 3 points off of the pace in the RMAC, and obviously they have a lot to play for today as well.
So the Mountain Lions can expect to get a hungry version of the Mavericks squad here tonight as they're looking to bounce back from a tough defeat, as you just mentioned, on Friday night. And UCCS looking to continue the momentum that they built in their victory. So shaping up to be a great matchup here at Mountain Lion Stadium. And we couldn't ask for a better day in terms of weather for our doubleheader here today. The women coming away with a big 6-1 victory in our first matchup, and the UCCS men's team looking to do the exact same thing here in the second game of the day.
And what fans just saw on that play, the experience of captain backliner Aaron Hefner, as he was able to shield the ball and create that goal kick for the Mountain Lions. And you mentioned the women's result. I did get a chance to go over and talk to many of the women players and some of the coaching staff after the match. They were hoping to get out of today uninjured, and a couple of players had to have assistance late in the game. Freshman Gabriella Lancaster went down, and she was actually on crutches with a heavily wrapped left foot as she left the field. And earlier, freshman sensation Caitlin Hinkle left the match in the first half right after scoring a goal on a collision with the Adams State goalkeeper, and she did not return. So we'll be taking a look as we move into training for the week as they get ready to hit the road on what their progress is. And already quite early, just a little bit of chirping going on between the players and the center referee. Had called a foul on Colorado Mesa, and nobody was in a hurry to give the ball back to the spot.
Gomez launches that one deep. Here's Baldwin trying to track that one in, but that one sails over his head, out of play. And Mavericks will have the throw in. Cardenas with a great throw in there, tries to send that one deep. Fight for possession, it's going to sail out of play, and more contact there. You can see this one already getting a little physical here. We're less than 10 minutes into the first half. A lot of contact already though, and if our first game is any indication as to the play that we're going to see here today, I think the officials are going to need to step in and make sure that things don't get overly physical as it started to do in the women's game against Adams State. Baldwin now looking to put a move on, but unable to shake the defense of Cardenas. He sends that one out of play, and the Mavericks will have the throw in. A lot of strength on that throw-in by Cardenas, trying to set things up for his offense down low, but the Mountain Lions are there to put a stop to it. Pass didn't quite have the execution that Von Holly wanted it to get over to Baldwin. Baldwin looking to recover and does a nice job of doing just that. Sends it over to Von Holly. Von Holly with a lot of green in front of him. Slows things down just a little bit, trying to let one of his teammates catch up to him. That was Liam McGuire in the center, but unable to connect on the pass.
That was a good combination by the Mountain Lions, using the triangle passing to get into the attacking third, and finally broken up by the Mavericks. And MJ, on Friday night, we talked about one of the formulas for the Mountain Lion team as at least up until Friday, they had been having a bit of a disappointing season, and to some extent had been having some bad things happen late, and their confidence was maybe flailing a bit, and how you go ahead and attack the match. And one way to attack the match is to break it into manageable sections, 30 minutes at a time. And so we'll see how the Mountain Lions do in these first 30 minutes.
There's a deep pass to Baldwin, and Baldwin tried to track that one in and send that one inside, unable to do so, but he does earn a corner kick as a result. So Alex Von Holly gonna step out for that corner kick as the Mountain Lions looking to set things up and get on the board here in the first 10 minutes of the first half. Von Holly now puts it in play, and that one is punched out by Brown. Great job by him to not even allow an opportunity there for UCCS. Quick throw in on the other side. And some space. Shot was up, but punched off by Brown. Great job by him, and a great shot taken by McClure. That's going to be another corner kick for UCCS as Von Holly steps out to set it up. Great opportunity for the Mountain Lions there. That was a quick turn and shot, but a great job by Brendan Brown. That corner kick off the head of a Maverick, and UCCS will get another opportunity here with another throw in deep. Good throw in there. McGuire got ahead on it, but unable to send it into the direction of the goal. Cross field pass to Baldwin. Baldwin looking to shake the defender. Sends that one in off of the foot, though, of a Maverick and right into the hands of Brown. Well, Doug, already you can see that the Mountain Lions are playing with great aggression and looking for their shots on offense, but so far unsuccessful.
Very similar to how Friday night's match started out. They're getting the opposition on the back foot right away by putting the pressure. And we talked about this Friday night, and the fatigue issue is going to be a little bit different today because of the brilliant sunshine and the way the artificial surface holds in the heat late in the game for both sides. Fatigue could be starting to set in, and we'll see how the Mountain Lions hold up.
Baldwin going 1-on-3 right there. No fear for the defense. Foul is called, though.
And unfortunately, no video review. The referee was obstructed, but we were in perfect sight. That was a handball by Mesa, but not seen.
Mavericks now looking to set up an attack of their own on that far side there. Taking their time, utilizing that field with a cross field pass. Now trying to go inside. Kicked out of play, though, by UCCS.
Fortunately for the Mountain Lions, that ball went out just on the touchline side of the flag, so it was a throw-in. And now the Mountain Lions trying to look for the counter.
Quick attack from UCCS, trying to move the ball down the field in a hurry. Looks like a foul called there on UCCS. That'll slow things down just a little bit. Mavericks sending it into the middle of the field now. Looking to penetrate, now sending it over to the near side. Good anticipation by Von Holly to get a leg on it, but it is quickly taken away, and a lot of speed there. But the Mountain Lions take it back.
Great timing by Hefner to break that up on the back line as he saw that cross, and then he was able to get the head on it to knock it out of trouble. The Mavericks showing their skill on the ball and the ability to possess. And this, in the first 15 minutes, has been really their first sustained possession of the 15-minute period.
Setting things up with Brown, now looking to send that pass across the field. That's Rosenberg. Rosenberg with a solid connection there. Now Cardenas here on the near sideline. Looking to shake and bake Baldwin, but Baldwin does a good job of staying in on the action, and now he comes away with it. Good heads-up pass to Von Holly. Von Holly unable to gain control of that one, though. Otherwise, he might have had a great opportunity to go 1v1 against Rosenberg, but instead, it's Mavericks possession. Just as I say that, Mountain Lions tracking it back in, sending it back deep to Zink. And Zink will spread it around and look to help his Mountain Lions set up another attack. UCCS so far doing a great job utilizing the sidelines and really utilizing the entire field. Pass there to Baldwin. Baldwin now with a good opportunity. With the pass, nobody there. Good recovery though. Shot is too far wide. Good idea by UCCS, just unable to execute.
And for Baldwin, nice hard work. The ball just wouldn't settle so that he could get quality control of it, but UCCS stayed on the attack and had a good scoring opportunity.
So far, UCCS has had a couple of good-looking opportunities. And I'm sure if you're head coach Brian Miller, you like the way in which the team is starting things off. Just hopeful that one of those gets through. There's McGuire with a deep pass. And here's Baldwin now. Baldwin getting deep. Can't get his left foot on that one, though. Otherwise, that would have been another great opportunity. I think Brown and the rest of the Mavericks are thankful that Baldwin was unable to get a shot up at that time.
And then you see an injured Maverick. He sat himself down voluntarily and indicated to the bench that he needed a change. The way he's pulling his toe back, perhaps a cramp. At least he's up and walking off. But because of the clock stoppage, he will have to step off of the pitch.
The quick agility of Baldwin on that last play may have led to a wrong step there by Eddie Cardenas, who is stepping off the field momentarily. He looks to be all right and is shaking that one off. But in the meantime, we are going to get our first substitution of
the
game
Colorado
coming
Mesa
in.
fans like this one.
Peter Vandam for the Mavericks stepping in replace of Cardenas. And quickly, he's going to see his first touch, but sends that one out of play. Going to be a Mountain Lion throw-in. UCCS going into the middle of the field with Sam Gomez launching that one deep. Von Holly gets ahead on that one, but right into the hands of Brown.
And I think Von Holly, he wanted the call. He got hit pretty much square in the back. He wasn't permitted to go straight up, and I think he wanted the call, but it was not there. That was a hard foul by the Mavericks against Irvin after he released that ball for Von Holly.
Scarlett slow to get up to his feet, but looks to be okay. And he'll look to put this one back in play. Check that. It's going to be Jack Mills with the first touch. UCCS sending it back to Zink, and Zink a little bit too much on that one. Zink with the powerful leg. Might have ate one too many bowls of his Wheaties today because that was awfully powerful. And as a result, UCCS unable to set anything up on the last possession, but quickly regained control. But it is taken by the Mavericks. Good idea there. There's Von Holly on the far side. And looks like he's going to be called for offside.
What the Mavericks are doing right now is they're playing it around the back and slowly progressing as they're trying to find where they can break down the Mountain Lions and then get into the attack in a very determined type of way. That actually attack doesn't really yield all that much, and it's a goal kick for the Mountain Lions.
Zink looking to send this one deep on the goal kick. First touch taken by UCCS. Great job there by Colorado Mesa, though, to steal that one away. Now a battle for possession right around midfield. A lot of contact there, but good job, good defense.
And that was Mills who got the initial interception for the Mountain Lions, and he just stayed with it and then moved into the midfield position, recovers quickly to get back into his defensive posture.
20 minutes have gone by here in the first half. UCCS with 2 shots to the Mavericks 0 so far. Back and forth, though. No team really dominating time of possession to this point. That's a good attempt by the Mavericks, headed back out. And another opportunity there. That shot was up and close to in by Matt Rhodes. Great job by UCCS. A lot of bodies in the box, which really denied that opportunity by Rhodes.
And that should go down in the scoring as a shot on goal for Colorado Mesa. It did not get through to Zink, but the UCCS midfielders were inside the 6 to block that, and it had net written all over it.
Great team block there for UCCS. That one looked like a little bit of trouble. And the Mavericks now in control, but that one is going to go back to UCCS. Mountain Lions will get possession back as Zink looks to put it back in play. And Zink telling his guys to keep going down the field. He's looking to send this one far. Good attempt there by McGuire, but unable to track that one in. And the Mavericks will look to take their time to set up their attack. Deep pass there. That one sent a little bit too far, too high, and out of play. Battle for possession on the far side, and it looks like UCCS is going to come away with it. now looking to spread the ball around. Baldwin getting in on the deflection. Baldwin now with an opportunity, looking to go one-on-one. Battle for that one as Vandam really challenging Baldwin on that possession, and Vandam's going to come away with that one-on-one win, at least in that last outing. Great defensive play by him.
And right now, center referee letting a lot of physical play go on as players start to figure out what they can and can't do in this match. There was a lot of hand checking going on that battle, and you're right, Vandam came away with the better of it that time around.
Over the long haul, you like the chances, though, of Baldwin in those 1v1 opportunities. Vandam definitely got the better end of things that time, but I think Baldwin will be more than content to try that again. Battle for possession as UCCS will come away with it. The deep pass there, no Mountain Lion to track it in though. That's Rosenberg with possession. And now the Mavericks looking to penetrate. Shot is up and Zink is there. Easy save for Zink on that attempt.
He had that angle perfectly calculated and did make it look easy.
That was a tough shot taken. And Zink easily anticipated that one, tracks it in. Now UCCS looking to set things back up. There's Mills over to Gomez. And the Mountain Lions slowing things down just a little bit. Sending it back to Zink. Zink trying to use that far sideline, but that one is going to be sent out of play. Mountain Lions will remain in possession as they'll get the throw in. Two on one, and the Mavericks come away with the ball on that exchange. Foul called on UCCS.
And I think that was a good call. Gomez was coming in hard, could not stop his momentum, so his momentum carried him into the Maverick who had just released the ball, but an illegal charge.
Gomez trying to step in and get the ball back and make up for that last foul that he committed, but unable to do so, and another Mountain Lion foul.
And that was McGuire lunging late for the ball and actually clipped the leg of the Mavericks. So another direct kick. Once again, early on, this has been the Mavericks' approach to the match. Kick it around the back, try to get their attacking formation set, and perhaps get the Mountain Lions off balance.
Well, clearly a different strategy for UCCS and for Colorado Mesa. Mesa a lot slower to try to get things to develop, really taking their time, whereas the Mountain Lions are trying to strike quickly and utilize their speed whenever possible. You see a good example of that right here. McGuire sending it back over to McClure, and now UCCS elects to take a little bit more time on this possession. Seems like the strategy for the Mountain Lions are the deep passes, trying to catch the Mavericks off guard, but so far haven't been able to execute any of those attacks. That one is taken away by McGuire, but given right back as Boyd came away with it.
And as you continue to watch the Mavericks, and we'll see how this rush develops.
Deep pass Good idea, but that one was unable to be tracked in. And UCCS utilizing the sideline once again as Baldwin sends it back.
And what I was about to say about the Mavericks, they're the perfect illustration that you can be both patient and urgent at the same time. They're patient as they pass the ball around the back, looking for the opportunities, and then they get that burst of energy and display the urgency necessary to move the ball into a scoring opportunity. Much different style than the way Fort Lewis played Friday night, so UCCS is going to have to adjust to that.
You see the Mavericks again really taking their time, trying to set up that slow and methodical attack. As you mentioned, Doug, just waiting for the prime opportunity for the burst of energy, and it might be coming right here. That was a great opportunity, as that net was a little more wide open than Zink would have liked it to have been. Great job from UCCS to not allow any goal to get in on that attempt.
And MJ, we're approaching the end of the first 30 minutes. Since we tried to grade each 30 minutes the other night, what do you think? How would you grade the first 30 minutes? Advantage either side?
It seemed to be pretty balanced start to the matchup. The first 30 minutes went back and forth, and when you look at the shots, each team with 2 to this point, and I think that really is the story of the first half. It's just been back and forth. Both teams have had their chances but have yet to be able to execute. That's a good opportunity there by Jack Mills on the sideline, trying to send that one in.
That was a great step up by Hovac. He just put it into the block of a defender. And you can see Mills over on the near side with his arm raised. He feels like he has some space, and now he has the ball.
Mills right there to Baldwin. Baldwin with a great opportunity. Didn't quite get all the contact on that left foot as he was hoping for, and that one sails right into the hands of Brendan Brown.
Good playmaking by the Mountain Lions. They saw that they had the opportunity. Baldwin and Mills worked well together, and as you mentioned, Baldwin just didn't get the quality of contact on that final touch.
I think for UCCS, they would be pleased keeping this game at a 0-0 score through this duration. Certainly they'd love to get a goal on the board, but Colorado Mesa right now, one of the top teams in the RMAC, and so for UCCS, they're battling hard and have had their shots, just a couple of unlucky breaks so far for them. And UCCS now with numbers, sending that one deep to Baldwin. Baldwin unable to track that one in, and it's going to be sent out of play. Mills coming up for the throw-in. A switch now, and I think Baldwin might like this matchup a little bit better than the previous one he just had, as he certainly has a speed advantage. That one sent back out, and UCCS will look to reset the attack.
And you can see the experience of Colorado Mesa. They had the back line back. They had good defensive shape. They were prepared as the Mountain Lions kept flooding the attacking zone, but Mesa not yielding anything at this point.
Throw in over the head of everybody at first, and that's going to be the Mavericks who send that one back out. UCCS will get another chance here, though.
And you saw as that last ball came into about the penalty spot area, there were 4 white Maverick jerseys surrounding the Mountain Lions.
Baldwin with a shot deep! And wow, off the side there. Baldwin with a prime opportunity, looked to get it around Brown, but unable to send it into the back of the net. That one off the post. Tough break there for UCCS and Adam Baldwin.
And MJ, I was just about to say before that shot, because of the way the Colorado Mesa backline is standing up, that they're going to have to take a couple of shots from distance to try to draw some of the defense out a little bit, and almost on cue, Baldwin did that. And I'll tell you, for Adam Baldwin, the soccer gods are not his friend today. A couple of balls just won't settle nicely. They're 6 inches higher than he needs to be able to settle it cleanly, and then the goalpost comes in and takes a score away.
Probably a little frustrating for Baldwin and the rest of the team, but if they keep chipping away the way that they have been, you got to think sooner or later one of those shot opportunities is going to go their way if they just continue on the attack. Good attempted back pass to himself, but Baldwin unable to track that one back in, and it's taken away by the Mavericks.
And this is shaping up to be quite a one-on-one battle between the pair of threes.
Baldwin and Vandam certainly have been going toe-to-toe so far here in the early going of the contest.
And if you recall, Vandam is actually the sub that came in for Cardenas when he went down with an injury.
"11 minutes now remains here in half number 1 of our contest, and it certainly has been back and forth so far. Neither team in firm control. A lot of contact on that last play, and a Maverick down, but I think just to the extent that he drew the foul.
And MJ, for those fans that look forward to a halftime break, we'd ask you to stay with us a little bit. We have quite a treat coming up at halftime. Mitzi Ramirez, midfielder for the #1 ranked Mountain Lion women's team, is going to join us at halftime and share some of her insights about the game and the season that the Mountain Lion women are having.
And that's going to be a fantastic opportunity to get some insight from Ramirez. She was in on all kinds of action in that game earlier on as the Mountain Lions came away with a 6-1 victory against Adams State. But I'm sure a lot of questions got to be asked there in terms of the physical play, the goal that she scored, and that's an exclusive interview you're going to get only right here with UCCS Sports. We talked about it in the last game and on Friday night, but the closing to this half really could be the difference maker in the game as we're tied 0-0. Whoever can get the first goal on the board certainly is going to be at a very distinct advantage. The Mountain Lions looking to do just that on this possession.
And right now, the way I would characterize how this match has evolved, the Mavericks are playing more of the bend but don't break defense, and the Mountain Lions overall have a little better numbers in the possession. And then on the other end of the pitch, the Mavericks have been very selective about when they make the attack, and UCCS doesn't want to yield a bad bounce goal or just that rare opportunity that's able to connect. And so you're right, that will shape up these last 8.5 minutes in terms of nobody wants to yield the breakthrough goal.
UCCS so far seemingly a little bit more content to take some of those risks, playing a little bit more high risk, high reward. They haven't been rewarded with it yet, but they've also not given up a goal in return. But they've been a little more dicey with their play so far with those long passes. And there's a shot from deep, and that one over the head of Jake Zink, and that's going to be a goal for the Mavericks.
And that occurred just less than a minute after we talked about what we needed to be aware of these last 8.5 minutes, and the breakthrough goes in favor of the Mavericks.
Well, and how about that, Doug? We were talking about the matchup for number 3 on UCCS's team and number 3 for the Colorado Mesa Mavericks, and on that one it was Peter Vandam who shot that one in for the goal.
And that properly called. It was not an inadvertent touch of the arm. It was too far out on the side of the body and called a handball as UCCS tries to get the equalizer right back.
That one right into the hands of Brendan Brown. UCCS certainly looking to answer the last goal there from Colorado Mesa to tie this one back up. But that slow, methodical strategy for the Mavericks really paid off on that last possession. Looking to do it once more. Let's see how UCCS responds with just 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
UCCS has a couple of players lined up at midfield, ready to come in on the next break. And once again, Coach Brian Miller has elected to do limited substitutions.
That was really a tough break for Jake Zink, who's played a great weekend so far. That one was just over his head and really no opportunity to come up with a save. But that's got to feel tough for him and the rest of the squad who have played such a great first half so far. And the Mavericks continuing to apply pressure as we near the end of half number 1.
And MJ, on that attack, if viewers were wanting the offside call, the assistant referee did in fact have the flag raised, but Zink was already out in possession and the center referee waved it off appropriately, giving UCCS the better quality of possession with it in Zink's arms.
Zink coming out deep to meet the ball that time. Puts it back in. Now Gomez on that far sideline, sending it up. And the Mountain Lions really working on that passing game right now to try to move that ball towards the goal. Here's an opportunity for UCCS, 2-on-1. And there's Baldwin. Baldwin tried to get that shot off, but was smothered by the Mavericks. See if Gomez tries to send that one back in. Instead, he sends the pass deep to the far side, and it's taken away by Vandam. Baldwin showing that burst of speed, though, to catch up quickly to Vandam and not allow for any real attack to develop there. Great recovery by Baldwin. Mavericks really utilizing that sideline right now and sending it back deep to keeper Brown. Brandon Brown putting it back in play and letting the Mavericks set up the offense once again. Deep pass intercepted. And that looked like that was close to a handball there, but official says play on. Mavericks really taking their time here. Sure, they don't mind wasting a little bit of time as we're under 4 minutes remaining in the first half, and they currently lead 1-0. Job there by UCCS to not allow for a corner kick, but it's going to be a throw-in by the Mavericks deep on that far side. Great throw-in there, but UCCS was ready. Now here's Baldwin. Baldwin slowing things down as he could see that he was outnumbered. Good idea from him to not waste the current possession they have, trying to get on the board at the end of the first half. Looked like a bit of a miscommunication there as Baldwin was not in the fray, but Vandam was. Foul called.
And that was a good call. A little extracurricular activity, even though UCCS had possession, it was not a quality possession, so therefore the whistle goes and UCCS able to put it back in play off of the direct kick.
Plenty of time here for the Mountain Lions to set something up. Just as I say that, though, the Mavericks steal that one away, and they equally have plenty of time. Great job there, though, as UCCS able to regain control. Two minutes now remaining in the first half. Gomez looking for Von Holly, unable to connect. Here comes Baldwin, but Baldwin's able to tap it just enough so it gets into the hands of Brandon Brown.
And unfortunately, Baldwin got turned so he couldn't attack the ball. As Zink steps out to cover that and put the ball back into play as we move into the final 80 seconds of half number one. UCCS, if you would have told them coming into this weekend that they could walk out of this weekend with 4 of a possible 6 points, they would have been thrilled with that. So the fact that they came in with the win and 3 points, they will work quite hard. That's one thing about this UCCS squad. There is no give up in them at all, as they will work hard to gain that equalizer in the second half and hopefully come from behind to take the lead.
And the Mavericks utilizing every second of the half right here while still making sure that they have a chance for one last opportunity, but great job by them to ensure that they're the only ones with one last chance here in the half. Shot is up, and that one looked like it might have been deflected.
Now this will be interesting. It is a corner kick, but the clock will not stop.
5 seconds left. I don't think there's going to be enough time to get this one off. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Colorado Mesa with a 1-0 lead through the first 45 minutes of our contest. But what a great back and forth first half we have seen, Doug. It's been back and forth, very aggressive, and great job for UCCS. They've had their shots. They've just been unable to execute, but Baldwin and Von Holly both have had a couple of prime opportunities, just didn't quite get the break that they were hoping for on those attempts.
Clearly a little stronger side than what Fort Lewis was able to provide on Friday night. UCCS has had a good portion of the control, and we'll see that when the halftime stats come out as to exactly what the control level was. There was one mistake, one breakdown that yielded a goal, and that's where we stand right now. But it should be an exciting second half as Mitzi Ramirez gets ready to step in and sit down.
So don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to take just a quick break. We're going to let Mitzi Ramirez come on in for an exclusive interview right here at UCCS Sports. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to Mountain Lions Stadium at halftime of the men's match, where Colorado Mesa University leads the men's Mountain Lions side by a 1-0 score. A treat here at halftime, though, for us, as number 21 midfielder Mitzi Ramirez of the women's Mountain Lions side, the number 1 ranked team in the nation, undefeated this season, joins us and have a chance to discuss a little bit. For those of you that don't know about Mitzi's background, she's a highly regarded club player out of California. She's a little embarrassed by that. She took a year off, went to classes in California, and then decided to come to UCCS. So first of all, Mitzi, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the decision to come to Colorado Springs and what brought you here?
I think number one.
Maybe just lift your microphone up a little closer
Sorry,
to your mouth.
not used
Perfect.
to these things. No, but I think number one reason why I came was Coach Sean and all of just the environment of the team. I think just being in a competitive environment again, playing the sport I love, is something that I was just willing to do in a snap of fingers. And it was difficult to leave everything behind, but for sure it's worth it, and it's been worth it, and it's been paying off at the pitch.
Yeah, you absolutely knew you were coming to a quality team, but
Yeah.
nobody in their wildest dreams could have said that over halfway through the season you'd be the number 1 team
Yeah,
in the
I know.
nation. You obviously put the boots on every game. You hope to win every game. I'm not sure that you're surprised that you're undefeated, but you have to be pleased at the progress of this season and how it's turned over to the young players because of some of the injuries.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're a pretty young team, but we have stepped up to the challenge. I think that we obviously put in the work, behind everything that, you guys see at the pitch. Just the work that we put in, honestly, it just feels so good that we have been winning all of our matches. And I don't know how to tell you this, but it's just really like, it just reflects back on the pitch and how all the work that we put in, from doing practices twice a day, doing ice baths in this cold weather, all the small things just paid off, and we're really just happy, and we're just on a grind right now.
And one of the things about teams that have success historically is there's good chemistry in the locker room, the thing that the fans don't see. And see, I can already see you smiling because I know a little bit about this team. There's a quality chemistry on this side.
Yeah, no, honestly, we all have different backgrounds. I can tell you that each player on this team is unique, but the way we have just came together is just amazing. I don't know how to even describe it, but the vibe we have on the team is like no other. And it just feels really good to have each other's backs on the pitch and off the pitch as well.
And Mitzi, let's start talking about you specifically in your play. You do come in as a set play specialist for some of the young players and parents that might be listening and hoping to play college soccer. Talk about the amount of work that it takes for you to work on the set plays and your skill on the ball to help make you a big part of the formula that is UCCS soccer.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think growing up playing with boys my entire life, it made me, a strong player and obviously a technical player because boys are quick. So I had to be really technical and smart on the ball. But I'm really humbled to say that I had a lot of people to help me out. But, little Mitzi always carried the ball around and juggled the ball. And that was her passion, at least, 24/7. No, playing with other kids. It was just her and the ball and juggling and, trying to get some tricks down. But I can honestly just tell everyone that, just enjoy playing with the ball and really, get creative with it. I know it's sometimes risky and it's kind of scary to take those risks, but if you don't try it, it's not going to ever happen,
Now, talk us through a little bit of what happened today. Obviously, the Mountain Lions did a great job earning a number of corner kicks, and you guys had that nice combination. At least this is how it looked to me, so you tell me if I'm wrong, is because Adams State started packing it in a bit. Then on those corner kicks, you would choose to go short to the top of the 18, and then obviously also the Mountain Lions were able to connect on a corner kick going right across. So walk us through some of the thought process.
Yeah, I mean, depending, we definitely have worked on training a lot on set pieces and just being calm on the ball. Sometimes I feel like teams rush it and it just doesn't come out right. But, just being calm on the ball and, doing what we have been practicing at, trainings, and just identifying of how hard they're pressing us. But for sure, a lot of our set pieces consisted of just playing it back to Lisa, with that powerful left. So we really try to use our strengths.
And now, walk us through your first goal today as a Mountain Lion.
No.
Set play, it was about 25 yards out is what it looked like from here. It was on the far end from our setup. And you drilled it high. Keeper really didn't have much choice. Did you know you were going to shoot at the start, or were you waiting to see what they gave you?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I thought my teammate Tanner was going to actually shoot it. So when she kind of faked it, and then Zoe, another teammate of ours, came in and faked it, I was like, all right, this is my turn. So I was actually talking to Sinead back when I got taken out, and I was telling her, I'm like, I think I made this free kick because I didn't overthink it. It was just like a surprise, like, okay, I'm the one that has to step up. But the feeling of just scoring my first goal, honestly, I'm really blessed and really humbled. And honestly, like I said, it just all comes back to all of those painful moments of, preseason and putting in the work and, doing our sprints and getting our fitness in. But these are the moments that I live for, honestly, and look forward to with my team.
That's great. And now, for the last couple weeks, kind of the word has we cannot look too far ahead to School of Mines. Now you can, because that's the next match. Going on the road to Golden. This team, it seems to me like School of Mines, that has been circled on the schedule the entire season. The squad knows who they are and what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of these teams have been a great challenge. Like, we've just taken it game by game. We don't take anything for granted at this point. We're just focusing on game by game, and I think that there's a rivalry behind all of this, but it's just another game, and I think that we're just concentrated on the way we want to play and the way we want to show everyone how we want to be seen as a team out here in our conference. A team that can move the ball and keep it and be smart and strong and can put up a fight as well.
Well, that's terrific. Well, fans, that's 21 midfielder Mitzi Ramirez, one of the many quality freshmen on this UCCS women's side, and they do go on the road for their final road trip of the regular season when they take on Colorado School of Mines Friday, and then they travel to Colorado Christian on Sunday, and then they'll wrap up the regular season back here at Mountain Lion Stadium. So again, Mitzi, thank you and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
So we'll check out for a couple more minutes before we come back with the men's second half. This is UCCS Mountain Lion Soccer across the UCCS network.
back, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to more UCCS Sports. We're about to begin the second half of action as Colorado Mesa currently leads 1-0 after the first half. But Doug, what a great first half for UCCS. They didn't get on the board, but they certainly had their opportunities. They had their shots, but great job by the Mavericks to deny any of those opportunities.
Yeah, certainly a much more evenly matched game than we saw Friday night against Fort Lewis, but UCCS did have the same formula in the first half today that they had Friday. They're definitely in this game, even though they're down by a goal. And as you and I were talking about at halftime, this season, UCCS has been a pretty strong second half club. So we'll see if they can capitalize on that again. And if wind has anything to say about it, winds are picking up a little bit and the winds favor the Mountain Lions.
And hopefully all of our fans were able to tune in for that amazing interview with Mitzi Ramirez. Just a stellar job done by you, and such a well-spoken Mountain Lion is Ramirez, who represents the team quite well. She had a stellar performance earlier, scoring her first goal of the season in dramatic fashion, I might add, and that really helped UCCS come away with a 6-1 victory. But the men's team looking for a similar result in that first half. Doug, we mentioned that battle that we were seeing between number 3 on both sides, Adam Baldwin for UCCS and Peter Vandam for the Mavericks. And it was Peter Vandam to come away with the sole goal of the game to give his Maverick team a 1-0 lead at this point.
And that is a hard tackle from behind. The clock has stopped. Not sure if it's going to be just because of the injury the referee knew right away, or whether he is also going to be the referee is hailing back the player that went in hard on the tackle. I think this is going to generate a card.
Good
Nope,
to see
just a
Gomez
discussion.
back up onto his feet. You could tell by the statistics just how close that first half was. Time of possession nearly in favor of the Mavericks, 53-47, but such a close outing that was. Each goalkeeper with 2 saves, but unfortunately Zink had a third opportunity at a save that he was unable to nab, and that really is the difference in the game, at least through the first half.
And I would also say another difference in the game is Mesa's goalkeeper, Brendan Brown. Brown sat out the Friday night match in the 2-0 loss to Regis, and Brown has played his area well. He's anticipated, he's gotten in the way of crosses, and so the Mountain Lions are just going to have to figure out a formula to try to defeat him. And one of the things they might want to consider, because of his height and his good vertical jump, they may want to consider a couple balls going low to see if he can drop to the ground fast enough, or perhaps they can sneak one underneath him.
Yeah, the 6'2" frame of Brendan Brown offers him great ability and great reach with that wingspan, and we saw that coming into play a couple of times in the first half. And as you mentioned, Doug, part of UCCS's strategy towards the end of the first half was to take a couple of other shots from deep to try to spread things out and clear the box. Let's see if that pays dividends here in the second half, or if the Mountain Lions make another change in terms of their strategy to try to open the field up a little bit more for some opportunities to get a goal on the board.
And I'm sure the UCCS coaching staff was trying to break down that first half and give their players exactly some of that type of data. Some nice moves by Von Holly as he moved into an attacking position.
Yeah, good idea by Von Holly, but as soon as he sent it towards the middle of the field, it was met by a few different Mavericks, and coming out to grab that one was Brandon Brown, coming out a little bit from his area before anything could develop for UCCS. And now here are the Mavericks looking to set up an attack of their own right in front of us right here. at the scorers table or the broadcast booth here on the far end of Mountain Lion Stadium.
Yeah, for those fans that are normally accustomed to tuning into the streaming comes from the Xbox side. And so from our vantage point, when we have UCCS Media Services, we get to see the Rocky Mountain Front Range. Some gorgeous shots this weekend.
And what an amazing job that Media Services does do whenever broadcasting the games here at UCCS. Definitely a pleasure to be part of the broadcast and part of the action here from Mountain Lion Field. And we'll be back for one more game this season. It's a single game for the UCCS women's soccer team on November 3rd. We'll be back with that action as the women's team will wrap up the regular season here at home. For the UCCS men's soccer team, they're going to be home again as they host Adams State on October 18th and CSU Pueblo on October 20th. Next weekend, they'll be on the road as they travel to play MSU Denver on the 25th and Colorado Christian on the 27th. The final home game for UCCS will be November 1st against Regis, and they'll be on the road for their final game of the season on November 3rd as they travel to play South Dakota School of Mines.
And MJ, next weekend's home games for the men's side, because of the unbalanced schedule in the RMAC based on the fact that not as many schools offer men's soccer, there's a little bit of a challenge going both ways. Now we're going to get a clock stoppage. Now we're going to see if this is discussion or going to be considered unsporting behavior because of the challenge along the touchline. Just a discussion, no card. But you saw that UCCS wanted to do the quick start on the throw-in. The Mesa player was not yielding any space, and UCCS was asking for the space, but now the clock running once again.
Well, I think that was likely the official stepping in to say before things start to get chippy, let's make sure they don't, as both teams really hungry for a win here tonight at Mount Lion Stadium. UCCS coming into today's game with just 6 points so far in conference play, but looking for a weekend sweep. Right now down 1-0.
And that ball had gone over the touchline before the Mavericks could continue into the attack. So it'll be a throw. But we're talking a little bit about the unbalanced schedule since there's only 12 men's team in the RMAC. So UCCS next weekend, it'll be a rematch of a home-and-home series with both Adams State and CSU Pueblo, which is basically a repeat of last weekend's matches. So it'll only be about 12 days between times that they have seen each other, and UCCS looking to sweep the season series against the Thunderwolves of CSU Pueblo.
Well, last weekend that was a good win for the Mountain Lions in comeback fashion as they did defeat CSU Pueblo 3-2, but then a tough loss 1 week ago against Adams State, losing by that same differential of 3-2. So UCCS knows what it takes to beat the Thunderwolves and might have figured some things out in the last matchup against the Grizzlies for that win as well.
And right now for the Grizzlies, that is their only win in conference play thus far this season.
Hovack throwing that one in. As soon as it comes into play, it's tapped right back out. So Hovack will look to do it one more time, this time just a little bit closer to the target.
And an action earlier today while UCCS is on the attack. Nope. If you want to check rmacsports.org, you can find out scores around the league. Because of our interview with Mitzi Ramirez, we didn't really get to check all of the status of the scores at halftime, but at last check, MSU Denver was ahead of Adams State 1-0 in the 74th minute, so not sure if the match finished that way or not. If so, Adams State would come in here potentially with just one win, and that one being against the Mountain Lions.
Well, if UCCS can close out this weekend with another victory here tonight, that would be two of the tougher teams in the RMAC on Friday night and then here on Sunday. And the schedule never easy, but seemingly slightly less challenging next weekend, as again, they're going to be hosting Adams State and CSU Pueblo. So what a big matchup this is with 35 minutes remaining. Mountain Lions looking to answer and at least come away with a tie, but the Mavericks doing a great job here in the second half, keeping possession on their end and looking to add to their lead here on this possession right now. The windup there, and I'm not so sure if that was a solid shot by Anderson or not. Looked like he wanted to turn and shoot, but a couple of Mountain Lions there for an easy block.
Including Sam Gomez, who did a nice job spinning and leaving his feet to block that opportunity.
Anderson again with the quick touch, and the Mavericks again looking to take their time, showing some patience, working on the precise passes to try to set something up. Good clear for UCCS as Scarlett sends that one down to the other side. Gomez gets a header on that one, but right into the possession of Colorado Mesa.
The coaching staff for both the men's and women's side will tell you there is no easy game in the RMAC. The quality of squads in this Division II conference is just impressive. I think most people would argue it's one of the toughest conferences in the country to get through.
Well, and nearly every single team trains at altitude, so you know that the endurance is top-notch for most teams in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Colorado Mesa from Grand Junction, Colorado, and so far here they've had plenty of gas in the tank to keep up with UCCS. And we talked about it, Doug, on Friday night, breaking down each game and even earlier today into thirds. And we're nearing upon the final third of the matchup. Let's see if UCCS can sustain the high level of energy they played with the entire game on Friday night and through the first 60 minutes of today's contest as well.
And they're going to need to win the final third. I think, as we discussed in the first half, I think the first 30 minutes was even. These middle 30 minutes, you have to give it to Colorado Mesa. They scored the goal and have had UCCS backpedaling for a good portion of that. So UCCS is going to have to put it back into a high gear again to try to first generate the equalizer and then hopefully be able to find a go-ahead goal as well.
And another thing we mentioned was just the lack of substitutions for UCCS on Friday night, and even here through the first 60 minutes of play. So those starters are getting a lot of field time and a lot of time in action, and certainly that's great for them and their experience moving forward, but a little bit of fatigue I'm sure has got to be setting in over the duration of the entire weekend. UCCS coming away with that one as Ranieri stays in possession. Now dishes it off to the far side and gets it right back. There's Baldwin trying to get a foot on it, unable to keep control. And now the the Mavericks. Grizzlies coming in next weekend for UCCS to play. Here today, Mountain Lions trying to hold home field off against the Mavericks. Mavericks so far getting the better end of things, though.
And that play offside for the Mavericks, so Jake Zink comes out to go ahead and put it back into play. And I did notice MJ at the start of the half, it did appear there was one sub that came in. Zane Baumgart was out on the pitch. And he's just about to challenge for the ball right now.
Deep shot there from Zink, trying to help his squad get something going. But it is Colorado Mesa in possession at the moment. Right in front of us here. Well, great job there by Ranieri to stay with it, as it looked like Avery was going to put a move on and try to create some space, but Ranieri wasn't having it on that possession. Gomez sends that one deep, trying to connect with Baldwin. Somehow Baldwin's able to track that one down, but unable to really gain possession. Good idea, just maybe a little bit too far for Baldwin to be able to catch up to.
And we have just officially passed the 1 hour mark of the match.
Good move right there by Martinez to shake away from Gomez. Shot from deep. That one right into the hands, though, of Zink.
And that was smart, keeping it hard and on the ground, hoping that Zink was maybe overplaying for the high shot, but the redshirt freshman was ready for that.
Zink has had a great weekend Friday and here today. Unfortunately, let one goal slip through, but he's done a great job after getting the start on Friday, hoping to provide a spark for UCCS, and it certainly worked on Friday night as the Mountain Lions came away with a 2-0 victory against Fort Lewis. Through the first 61.5 minutes of today, though, Colorado Mavericks have done a great job, though, of keeping the pressure on Zink and the rest of the Mountain Lion squad, and currently lead 1-0.
And Parker McClure comes back onto the pitch. He was the lone sub at halftime as he completed all 45 minutes of the first half, and also seeing his first minutes of this weekend. Alex Stossler.
There's a shot from deep, just wide right. Mountain Lions looking like they're trying to spread that ball out a little bit further and take some shots from further out. Let's see if that pays dividends a little bit later, as that might spread out the defense for Colorado Mesa, in which the Mountain Lions might be able to penetrate a little bit better than they were in the first half.
And also get Brown in net a little bit off balance to really generate a quality scoring opportunity for the Mountain Lions.
I'm not so sure if that was a shot to try to go for the goal as much as it was a shot to try to set things up for later. Either way, let's see if the strategy works for the Mountain Lions, as they are starting to run out of time now. 27 minutes remaining, still plenty of time, but if they don't make a move here soon, it might be that much more challenging for them to get back into play. Foul called.
And that was a case of Alex Von Holly trying to split defenders. He was clipped just slightly. It took him off stride, so since he could not maintain the quality stride that he had underway, that was appropriately called, and a direct kick for the Mountain Lions.
Aggressive move by Von Holly, which draws the foul on Chris Boyd, and UCCS will look to send it in and set something up. That one kicked back out. And a clear by the Mavericks. That could have been trouble for UCCS, as Wydick was down low, and if he would have gotten possession there, could have had a prime opportunity to add to the Maverick lead.
Unfortunately for the Mountain Lions, it was Captain Aaron Hafner who was back. Hefner able to use his experience, and you saw how he used his body to shield that and regain the possession.
Checking in for the Mavericks right now, number 23, Raymond Jackson, and number 27, Alec Frenapfel. So some fresh legs for Colorado Mesa. And the Mavericks looking to set up their attack on this side of the field. Throw in, deep throw in, good job, but Mills is there to head that one out. And now UCCS hoping to get on the board here, but that one right to Brown, and the Mountain Lions unable to set up their attack.
Yeah, I think that through pass just a bit ambitious, well ahead of Von Holly. He wasn't going to get there.
Mountain Lions taking their time on this possession. Really hoping to set up something successful here, but Hovac unable to do just that, as that one is sent out of play. Goal kick coming up for Brown.
And that might have been a wind-influenced change of possession. I think Hovac was just trying to chip that over the back line and hope that he had an oncoming runner from the right flank, but the wind carried it a bit, and now you have the goal kick for Colorado Mesa. One of the things, MJ, we were talking about with the men's staff before this afternoon's activities got underway is on Friday night, against Fort Lewis, I should say, the quality of shots that the Mountain Lions took was there, and it created a lot of trouble for the Skyhawks. Today, while in fact the Mountain Lions have had a lot of control and a lot of opportunities, the quality of the shots isn't there like it was Friday night. And you may have heard the PA announcement. Sam Bonanno, who is always a spark of energy for these Mountain Lions, is now back in the match, and that's good to see. He came in late in the game Friday, and he was holding his hamstring toward the end of the match, so I wasn't sure how much gas he was going to have, but he looks good in the first 30 seconds on the field.
He's coming in active with a lot of energy, and the Mountain Lions could use a little burst of energy here with 22 minutes remaining. The second half has been in firm control for the Mavericks, but the beautiful thing about soccer is all it takes is one touch of the ball for that goal to go in and change the entire complexion, and UCCS looking to answer as the Mavericks still lead 1-0. There's Hovac battling for that one and draws the contact and the foul, hard foul there.
And the referee quickly over just to make sure that nothing happens after the whistle. This is kind of the referee's manner of saying, I just need you to know that I know what happened without actually issuing a card.
Yeah, great call by the official there to step in and make sure things don't get a little bit too aggressive as Brown punches that one out of play. You could just see the height and the wingspan from Brown, though, as he just soars over the rest of the team to punch that ball out.
And you can see the evidence in his play, especially this half. Why his goals against average coming into today is just .74. He has booked the bulk of the minutes for the Mavericks this season. Coming into today, he had played 850 minutes in net, only allowing 7 goals. And his save percentage was sitting at 83%.
Looks like we got a Maverick shaken up on that last play, so a stoppage in time as the official allows him to get back to his feet and regain his composure.
And I didn't see the contact clearly. I'm not sure if he actually got hit hard by his own keeper. As Brown came out to punch that, his momentum carried out. It may have taken him into his teammate.
That's what it looked like to me as well, Doug. Brown, such a great job to get a hand on that one, but potentially at the expense of one of his teammates. Checking in is going to be number 11, Kevin Chavez, for the Mavericks, as UCCS will look to set up their attack here with the ball on the far side of the field. And here comes the throw-in. And what a great throw-in that is. And UCCS had a chance there. Beautiful job by Bonanno to send that one in deep. But UCCS unable to capitalize. You mentioned on Friday night that those throw-ins are almost the equivalent of a corner kick with how strong of a throw that they are. And you saw witness to that just now. It's a great opportunity, but Mountain Lions unable to get a hold of the ball to even get a shot off.
And every soccer side needs specialists. We had the chance to talk to Mitzi Ramirez for the women's team at halftime. Her specialty on set plays. Bonanno for the men. His specialty, a strong throw that in that attacking third plays just like a corner kick. So every throw in these final 20 minutes from that end is going to be a scoring opportunity for the Mountain Lions if they're able to engineer a goal.
And here comes another one right now as Bonanno stepping back to try to get a lot of momentum into this throw-in and give his squad a chance to get on the board as we're under 20 minutes now remaining. There's a shot up. Good job there by Brown to step in front of that one. That was one of the better opportunities that the Mountain Lions have had all day long, but Brown was ready, and now the transition attack by the Mavericks, and this might be trouble for UCCS. Offside call though, and that's going to be a stoppage in play. What a frantic couple of seconds that was. That was Wydick in prime position to add to the Maverick lead. But the
I gotta
far
be honest
side
with you,
official
MJ.
said offside.
Yet the center referee made some type of motion. To be honest, I couldn't interpret what he was trying to indicate with that motion. He blew the whistle and stopped the clock, I think because of the injury. So we'll see where they place the ball.
Looks like Aaron Martinez in on the action, and looks like a trainer coming out now. Not sure if it was something with the headgear. The headband came off, or not quite sure, but he's getting checked on right now. And the clock remains stopped at 19:03. That's what we have remaining in regulation. Didn't look like an injury there, Doug. I'm not exactly sure what the stoppage in play was.
And the referee is actually going over to talk to the Maverick bench. If we had the luxury of the assistant referee being on our end of the field, we'd have to clarify. But it appears to me, based on where this ball is going back into play, it's about 10 yards ahead of where the offside would have been. So it's not offside. And the referee has not raised his arm indicating an indirect kick. So this is actually a direct kick, which would say that it was a Maverick foul. And now the referee also going over and talking to the UCCS bench. If he knows we're a live broadcast, you think he'll come over here and talk to us? We could really use the help.
Yeah, we could use some clarification up here as well, because it looks like Martinez is out now.
He did raise the arm. It was an indirect, so UCCS actually gained about 10 yards further than it was supposed to be, but regardless, it goes over.
Yeah, the official must have seen something we certainly didn't. Quite possibly could have been more preventative as well. Maybe he saw a lot of contact and wanted to ensure that that didn't continue.
And a lot of that, and just to kind of let fans know about the flow of a game when that kind of situation happens, you could have three things that are all happening in quick succession. Each of those three things would yield a different restart, but there's going to be the prevailing foul or occurrence, and that's what's going to generate the restart.
Well, there's a great opportunity.
And that
one
ball
sent a little
ricocheted
bit
back
too
into
high.
play, but right, that was off of the football crossbar, so that's going to be a goal kick.
And checking in the last few moments for the Mavericks was number 32, Nick Rizzo. Mountain Lions quite fortunate with that last exchange, though. That one was a little bit more problematic than UCCS would have liked to have seen, as Wydick had a wide open opportunity but sent that one a little bit too high. Good battle there. Dossler trying to disrupt things.
And McClure finally able to come out of that pack of 6 players to switch fields.
A lot of contact on that far side, right in front of the Mountain Lion bench. You could see a lot of their hands up into the air, not liking the play that they just saw.
And once again, referee stops the clock. And I think this time the discussion is going toward the UCCS bench. I'm not sure if it came through on our audio, but the bench after that contact, yep, it is. This is going to be a yellow card.
Looks like that's going to be a card to Alec Frenopful.
That was most likely the referee saying to the UCCS bench, I'll do my job, you do yours. I'm going to give the card. You don't need to be talking at me.
Especially not this weekend during Officials Appreciation Week.
Boy, there was a great chance it just goes over the crossbar.
Well, UCCS is certainly getting their opportunities. They've just been unable to capitalize so far, but still over 16 minutes remaining for the Mountain Lions. Looking to set things up with a corner kick now coming up. It's going to be Salisbury with the take. Sends it up. Great corner kick there. And UCCS certainly had a shot, but that was Irvin Scarlett on the header, unable to send it into the net.
And the play that generated that corner kick was Von Holly, and he did something very smart, trying to do something a little bit different to confuse the keeper. He headed that ball, and he headed it down hard on the ground ahead of the keeper, hoping to catch the keeper on the bounce as the keeper was anticipating the header in the air. So Von Holly smart, and Brown was able to get a fingertip on it to then yield the corner kick, but obviously not the equalizer.
Brown has just shown great anticipation all day long as he has been on point through the first 75 minutes or so of today's game. Passes deep there. Zink comes out to try to get it. Ball still in play. Gomez tracks it in, kicks it out off of a Maverick, so the Mountain Lions will have a throw-in.
And Zink there had a moment of indecision of whether to keep coming out and punch it or wait for the deflection to come to him. So the timing was both the attacker and Zink got there at the same time. Fortunately for the Mountain Lions, no harm.
The Mavericks on the attack once again right here in front of us. Rizzo sends it off, and it looks like that's going to be an offside call. Just under 15 minutes remaining here from Mountain Lions Stadium as Colorado Mesa still leads 1-0. UCCS has had more than their fair share of opportunities, just looking to get one to go in. Still plenty of time to see that happen. Mavericks doing a great job to contest each and every attack opportunity from the Mountain Lions. And now the Mavericks with the throw-in, looking to add to their 1-0 lead. Great tackle there, but looks like it's going to be a throw-in for
You're
UCCS.
Right, it was considered a clean tackle. As hopefully the camera showed, Hefner got all ball, and then the attacking player fell over Hefner as he was sliding through, and it yields a throw-in.
Great attempt there, but that one does sail out of play, and the Mavericks going to have possession here as Avery checks back in for the Mavericks. McReynolds looking to send this one back in. He'll have the throw in. 13 minutes now remaining in regulation. UCCS going to need to start playing with a little bit more urgency, and that was a great miscue for UCCS as Kevin Chavez unable to keep that one in play, and the Mountain Lions will have a throw-in coming up for them. Liam McGuire checking back in for UCCS. He had a nice rest through this second half, hopefully bringing in some fresh legs and a little bit more energy off the bench now.
Not only fresh legs, 6'4" of Liam McGuire.
So that's a lot of fresh legs for UCCS, hoping to capitalize with 12 minutes remaining. Still more than enough time to continue playing their game, but they're going to have to pick up that tempo just a little bit more to create some more opportunities. A lot of contact over on that far side.
And it was.
UCCS will get the throw in.
Actually, that was a case of because of the momentum of the Mesa player followed through, they actually called a foul, so the restart's going to be on the ground.
Good call, Doug. Didn't quite see that from our vantage point. What a deep kick that was, but right into the hands of Brown.
I got to tell you, as just a fan of the sport, Brown is fun to watch.
That is great goalkeeping we are seeing from Colorado Mesa as Brandon Brown just has such great execution and anticipation. Mountain Lions might have been able to get a shot up there, but before UCCS could even track that one in, Brown stepped out to make sure that wasn't an option. Another deep opportunity. There's Von Holly. And Brown again stepping out to secure that ball.
And not only a 6'2" frame that allows him to climb the ladder when necessary, but he also has a long stride and a very quick first step. So he has protected the entire penalty area very well today.
Gomez grabs that one back up.
Let's see if this corner kick allows the Mountain Lions to solve the problem of Brendan Brown.
Mountain Lions going to get a corner kick opportunity here. Shot is up and blocked. Well, UCCS had another good look there, but a lot of Mavericks in the box, not allowing anything to get close to the goal. Checking back in for the Mavericks, number 9, Tristan Wydick, and number 13, Chris Boyd. Both started today's contest, getting back in to the game, looking to finish as well. Just under 9 minutes remaining in regulation. Mavericks still lead 1-0. On the near side, Rizzo with the pass. Cross was up and the header no good. McReynolds sent that one deep.
And that was a nice hook by McReynolds, forcing the keeper to decide whether that was going to be a cross to the far post or a shot. Very well done by the Mavericks, just couldn't connect at the end, and UCCS regains possession on the goal kick.
Looks like a foul called there on UCCS.
Not sure if our microphones,
Mavericks possession right at the midfield.
Not sure if the microphones picked that up, but the Mesa players starting to talk among themselves. The call came out, take your time, take your time. Every second they take off the clock is to their benefit.
There's a battle and a shot, and that one is good by Avery. He went 2-on-1, and all of a sudden the Mavericks now double their lead, 2-0. And you see a little bit of a defeated look there by the UCCS Mountain Lions, as they thought they were in control, or at least had that play well defended to gain control, and all of a sudden Avery sent that one in and took on Scarlett and Mills in a 1-on-2 opportunity and sent it right past Zink. What a stellar play by Avery.
And actually one of the storylines of this game, and it sounds like an excuse, but it's not. It's the soccer gods. UCCS had a couple of bounces that were just 6 inches too high and couldn't get the solid connection. And for Avery, you could see that coming. That ball bounced right up into the sweet strike zone, and he did not miss it as he sent it into the back of the net.
Very well executed by the Mavericks and by Avery on that last possession. Just a stellar job by them, and UCCS now with less than 7 minutes remaining really needs to pick up the tempo here. I think they're going to have to make some adjustments. Can't quite continue to play the same way they have been playing if they look to get on the board twice now with 6.5 minutes to go.
And the personality of this squad, you will see no let up. They will continue coming at the team, and in fact, it's happened against them earlier in the season. In the final 6 minutes, St. Edwards was able to score 2 goals on the Mountain Lions to erase what was a 3-1 lead at the time.
It's got to be a bit frustrating for UCCS, but still plenty of time to get back into this game. A quick goal could really change the complexion of things and help build some momentum for them, but they're going to have to act quickly. There's Gomez sending that one in deep and right into the hands of Brown. Brown just makes that look far too easy, as that was a good looking shot there from deep.
And I would say if I got a vote in RMAC goalkeepers of the week and first team goalkeepers, Brendan Brown would get my vote. Probably the best goalkeeper we have played against this season.
I mean,
And
what
we've
else
played
do you
against
look
some good
for
ones.
in a goalkeeper? He's got the great anticipation, the height to be able to get the ball in any position, and he's got the speed and quickness to make the moves. Can't say enough about the performance from Brandon Brown here today, who so far is pitching a shutout here at Mountain Lion Stadium against the home team. Here comes Baldwin trying to track that one in with that burst of speed, and that's a name we haven't really called out too much in the second half as opposed to the first half. I would think if UCCS is going to get a couple of goals on the board, he's got to get in to the action and help create some of those opportunities.
And because of the way Colorado Mesa has played the last few minutes, Baldwin has been forced to expend a lot of energy tracking back to assist on the defensive end. And
Mavericks yelling for a handball, but officials disagree with that. Baldwin's going to have a throw-in as we're now just under 4 minutes remaining in regulation. McClure tries to send that one deep towards the middle of the field, intercepted, and the Mavericks come away with it with another opportunity for an attack. It's Avery once again who put up the last goal for the Mavericks. Slows things down just a little bit and waits for a couple of his teammates to catch up. There's Baldwin getting ahead on that one. UCCS continuing to run out of time with each and every second that goes by. Just over 3 minutes now remaining. They're going to need to put one up in a hurry if they have any chance of getting back into this game. But certainly a no-quit attitude from the Mountain Lions as they're going to continue to play hard for the remaining 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Might not be enough time for UCCS to get back into the game, though. There's Baldwin with the cross-field pass, but that one sent a little bit too deep. And Brown's going to have a goal kick coming his way, and I'm sure He's going to eat up as many seconds as he can with just over 2 minutes now remaining. It looks like Colorado Mesa will escape with the victory. Deep pass, and that one sent out of play. It'll be Mountain Lions ball.
And unfortunately for the Mountain Lions, as this game winds down into the final 100 seconds, they are still looking to put together their first complete weekend. They've had moments, and now here comes a 2-on-1.
Mavericks with a golden opportunity here. Great job by Scarlett, but he's down and hobbled.
And appropriately, the official can tell that Irvin Scarlett is in quite a bit of discomfort. Stops the clock, even though Scarlett is off the end of the field. He needs some training attention.
And
But
that
what I
is
was
not
about
a good sign for UCCS with 75 seconds remaining in regulation. That would be a huge blow to this Mountain Lion team if Scarlett is down with a serious injury. Certainly he looks to be in some pain at the moment. What a great That's that never quit attitude from UCCS. Battling all the way to the last few moments. Unfortunately, though, Scarlett is down.
And what the referee is indicating is he's allowing the sub to come back on, and since Scarlett is off of the field, he's allowing play to resume, even though Scarlett is just a few yards off of the goal line to finish out this final 75 seconds.
Corner kick for the Mavericks, as Scarlett's going to get a little bit of help off the field. Unable to put pressure on that right leg at the moment. We're under 1 minute now remaining here from Mountain Lion Stadium.
And what I was starting to say before the Scarlett injury, there have been some clear flashes of the kind of team that we thought this Mountain Lions 2019 squad would be. Last weekend with the 3-2 win over CSU Pueblo, the opening home match win against then nationally ranked St. Mary's, and then Friday night's match against Fort Lewis. But just when they start getting some advantages, then what we see is they're unable to complete the weekend sweep. So I'm sure there's still a lot of work to do for this squad as they prepare for next weekend's home matches.
So a tough game for UCCS here at home as they are going to fall 2-0 against Colorado Mesa. They're going to be back in action next weekend as they will be at home against Adams State and CSU Pueblo. They'll look to sweep next weekend and get back into contention for the playoffs, but a tough loss here tonight, Doug.
Yeah, and I think Coach Brian Miller is going to have to talk to the team about, obviously disappointed that they didn't get a point today. I thought they played okay. Brendan Brown was a big part of the story. There were some bad bounces. So in that regard, they're looking forward to getting back to training and hopefully a solid performance in a pair of games next weekend.
So keep up with all those games next weekend at GoMountainLions.com, and we'll be back on November 3rd for the final regular season matchup for the UCCS women's soccer team. For all of our crew here at UCCS, we thank you for joining the broadcast and thank you for tuning in to UCCS Sports.